Hi, folks. Thanks for joining us. I see we already have a message from Brenda. Good to hear from you, Brenda. Glad to see you here. Oklahoma girl transported to chat successfully. Glenn usually gives us a few minutes before he starts a chat. Well, I'm trying to be a little bit more efficient, but it's anybody's guess, really. So I try the best I can, but uh, we're getting there right now. I see we have over 20 people here. And so, where are you from if you are not too shy? Who, Sadie? If so, no worries. We will become troll stalkers and just curious folks. Sadie is in New York City, I think. She's in New York. Hello, Leanne in Mississippi. Good to see you here. We have not shot any stories in Mississippi, but we're certainly game to. So I have with us the storyteller, Danny Wilson. Sounds you'd think he'd be one of the Beach Boys or something with Danny Wilson. Yeah, just okay. But anyway, so let's say a hearty welcome to Danny Wilson.
Thank
He's
you.
our storyteller, and we'll just see how things go here and see what kind of questions you guys have for Danny, and just kind of open it up. Hello, Peggy. Peggy in Eastern Canada and Jenny Nelson in Florida. We're going to be back in Pensacola sometime later in the summer. I think near the end of August. I'm pretty sure. So, Danny, while we have you here, well, for starters, okay, Jenny Nelson says she knew Danny in high school. Good dons.
I know Jenny. Hi, Jenny.
Gee, Danny, that's it.
A little nervous, okay?
Yeah, I know her.
I can't see anymore. I can't see anymore. Maybe because I'm still on the YouTube.
Maybe I don't know, but yeah, I guess you probably have a couple of things going since you've got this chat window going, or this video conference thing going. Plus, if you've still got the YouTube going, but I'm seeing that in this we're talking about uh, you and the premiere and what just happened. So, am I going to Toby Keith's? Yes, I am. And Brad, uh, okay, yeah, sorry, Danny, this is going to get confusing real quick. It'll be fine. So, Brad, the package is ready in time for it to be delivered to my house, so you don't need to worry about it. But I appreciate your willingness and to do so. But yes, Toby Keith's in Bricktown in Oklahoma City, Sunday, June 15th. This Sunday, we'll be there for anyone in the area. And Oklahoma City is pretty centrally located. So anyway. Anyway, so back to Danny, who is just sitting here calmly, trying to not get annoyed. So, so for starters, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about what the experience was like, sharing your story in the interview environment and the way we did all that.
Uh, you know, I went in thinking, oh my God, this is gonna be so difficult. And at some points it was difficult. Um, but it was you made it easy. You made it like I was talking to you instead of talking to a camera.
Right.
So like I was talking to a friend. That's all I was doing. And so it made it a little easier. Of course, sometimes it got rough,
But it's the
but it was
topic,
like
right?
it's the topic, yeah. But the way you had everything set up, just you made it so like it went with the flow, you know. And that's what it seemed like, when we were talking. That's what it seemed like. It was just flowing. It was just
just talking,
Kept it going, just talking like regular two people talking.
just the conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when I
And
was done, I was like, that, you know, because I went in, before I went in, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so bad. What do I say? You know, don't get me wrong. After I left, I was like, man, I could have said this. I could have said this too, you know, of
yeah. Yeah, I think everyone does that.
course.
I think I do it too. I should have asked him this. I should have asked, or certainly when I'm editing the story, I certainly find myself thinking, well, why didn't I ask about that? It just has because it is just a conversation. We work really hard to get the environment into something where we're not making it any more difficult than it already is. That all of the things that we have control over, we do everything we can do to make it easy. We use that magic box where
Yes.
during the interview you can't even see the camera.
No.
You just see a reflection of me,
Yeah, I would say, we just see your face.
which I don't think necessarily that's bad, but it's really kind of weird. It's my head in the box and kind of offset from the rest of my body, so it looks a little peculiar. But yeah, it's cool.
You know, and if anybody's watching this and they have a chance to ever do this, do it. It's so much easier than how I expected. Because I went in nervous, you know. What do I, you know, like I said, and you just that nervous when I walked in there and we started talking, it just went away. You know, it's like when you have stage fright, you made that stage fright go away.
Once you get
So
started, you know, here's here's when I start these interviews, first I ask the person who I say their name, and that's just a housekeeping thing so that we can match it up to the form that you fill out uh, later on, and then I ask you why you're here, and then I will ask you. So in your case, I would have asked, so what was Timothy like growing up? And when I ask the storyteller that, inevitably their face always lights up. And I think at that point, most of the anxiety that came around the idea of doing the interview just goes poof. And the storyteller's reaction is, oh God, I get to say good things about my kid. And off they go. It's way cool. It's way cool. So let's see what kind of things we've been missing over here in the chat.
you know, I forgot to put in the chat that I got. You know, I got his tattoo.
Uh huh.
You
I
know,
bel
in the
We see that in the story somewhere. I think when it's when you wipe your eyes. I think
yes.
that we see it, but it's just a glimpse. Didn't see it as clearly, and it looks perfectly suited to the kind of sense of a person Timothy is that I get from the pictures and from what you say about him. That, that like his reaction to that would be to say, I would think, be he would look at it and say, "Gee, Dad, that's kind of badass."
Oh, I know he would like this.
Yeah, that's
He's the
cool.
one that helped me get it. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let me see where I'm at. Whoops, I don't know what I did there, but that was kind of cool. Uh-oh. And clearly, this technology is too complicated for me. I just got to bear with me. So I'm going back a little bit. Leah, Mississippi, welcome. Brenda says welcome. Sadie, upstate New York. Jenny says, and there's Jenny saying that good dawns. Is that Jenny saying she knew you and good dawns?
High school. That was that we were a Coronado Dons.
Ah, I see.
You know the movie Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
I vaguely, yeah.
That's where they filmed the high school that Coronado.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Brenda says, Sadie, New York, welcome. Glad you made it. I listened to your chat from earlier, and I really wanted to see you here. Thank you for making my ex junkie day. Jenny says, hi, Danny. Hugs. Brad's asking if we're going to be in Toby Keith's. Yes, and we talked about that. Brad, you are jumping the gun. We aren't going to key part of the show yet. Listen, Brenda's like playing line producer here. That's cool. Do you have any coffee mugs available on your website? Okay, Carly, you're killing me here. But I can tell you at the thing in Oklahoma City, we're going to have something for you guys. Jenny says, thank you for speaking from the heart.
That's all I could speak from at that time. I mean,
it seemed to come very natural for you once you got started.
it did. I love my kids. I mean, you know, like I said, I talk to them because it keeps them alive.
Right.
You know, I still like when I on my way to work, I sit there and talk to them, talk to them. You know,
And it's a good thing to do. Genuinely, it's a good thing to do. It's something. Wow. It's a good thing to do. It's a good exercise. We've done a couple of stories with counselors who talk about that kind of thing, and they say, "Holy cow, go for it. Do that. That is a good thing. It's healthy."
I talk to him like he's still right next to me.
Right. Right.
You know,
He is.
yeah, I believe he is.
Yeah. I think so. Okay. Brenda, Jenny, did you also know Timothy? Brenda's asking Jenny if she knew Timothy.
No,
Claire the Voyant. Hi, Glenn and Danny. Regards from Florida. Claire, did we meet when we were shooting in Florida? We've been to Florida a couple of times now shooting stories. I don't know if we've met. And Carla's here. Jenny, no, I know his parents. I was in school with them. Brenda says, Jenny, okay, so how was Danny in high school? Hot dog. Here we go. This is going to be good. How was Danny in high school? He strikes me as a teddy bear type until someone pushes his buttons. So, yeah.
That's what it's like.
I don't know. And Jenny says you were a big teddy bear. And then Sadie said something and then retracted the message. Brenda says, Keisha, thanks for joining us. Keisha is another one of our storytellers. Oh gosh. Where you're in New Mexico. You're in Phoenix.
In Phoenix, yeah.
Keisha was a storyteller in Florida. I'm pretty sure. I I get around a lot, and so sometimes I have a hard
Good.
I have a hard time keeping track of who was where, how much of the
Well,
mugs.
that's because you're doing all this good out there. That's why.
Well, thanks, Danny. I don't know. So are you seeing? You're not seeing the YouTube feed. You're seeing the conference feed, right?
No, I'm
Or
not seeing
both,
no more food.
sir?
I'm not seeing no more feed. I'm trying to see if
Uh,
there's a.
well,
No, it didn't work. Oh well.
okay. Well, don't go screwing up our connection now. That would be bad. Jenny, what instruments did you guys play? What? Keisha, thanks for joining us. I'm trying to download your business card, but I think I need a 9-year-old to help me. Okay, Brenda, you know you can do this. It's just buttons. So, Brad, how much are the mugs? Brad, see, so Danny, this is a mug that is we have a merchandise store. You remember at the end of your interview, I gave you a T-shirt, and
Yes.
I explained to you that we have a store, and we have a store because our YouTube partner manager said we should have a store, so we got a store, and in the store is T-shirts and sweatshirts and mugs like this. It's got our logo on it, and on the other side it says "Stories That Matter." So it's way cool. It's kind of ridiculously expensive. It's like $16, $18. But what I point out to the people in these events is it never needs cleaning. But you can look in there right now and that's perfectly fine, right? I
You
used
don't
to
drink out of it?
yeah, it's all perfect. I used to have this white coffee mug and you had to wash it all the time. This one, no. That's
No.
why it's so expensive because it cleans itself, I guess, because I don't see any dirt. So anyway, so so Sadie is asking, how are you feeling now?
You know, I still go to my helping parents heal. I still go to church group. So all that is what keeps me going. You know, I have my church group, which is amazing. We meet every Tuesday night. Right now it's summertime, so we don't meet as much, except for we meet once a month with the guys, and it's another family. You know,
Right.
if I have problems, and I can bring up my son, and they'll listen. Same
Is
thing
it
with the other group.
in at my church there is a uh it's called the life group, and it sounds like the same kind of thing. Or there's a meet one week it's the whole group, and then the next week it's just the guys, and the next week it's just the women, and then the next week it's the whole group again. And it kind of sounds like that, and yeah, there's a great strength to that, and somewhere in the course of your journey there is a transition between them helping you and you helping them through your experience, through what you share. They grow from that. So I tell storytellers a lot that the last part of a person's life is oftentimes, and maybe every time, someone else's lesson.
Hmm.
And that's one of those lessons that you continue to keep paying forward when you're in the group, when you're doing things like that. It's powerful, and
And
uh,
then
I think and I think by design that we're supposed to work that way. But anyway, go ahead. You started to
I
say
would say, helping out with AFFID, Arizona Families Fighting Illicit Drugs, where I can you know, go help out there when I can.
hmm
I've only done it once so far because it was here, closer to me, but being able to educate people about, you know, Narcan, and I was surprised, how many people didn't know what it was or didn't know what it was used for. It was like, hey, this Narcan, what is it?
right.
I'm like, wow, and these people are older, or their their spouse was a nurse, but he's never heard it. Well, how do you not hear about this? Or did hear people going, oh, my kids are 23 and 24. I don't have to worry about this.
No, no, it doesn't work that
Oh
way.
my God. And it felt good. I've only done it once, like I said so far, but it felt good. Felt good out there educating people, you know. So I can't wait to do more with that too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I heard this story. We did we shot some stories in Anchorage, and a woman that we worked with in Anchorage talked about doing an awareness event where she was giving away naloxone, which is Narcan or other brands as well. Uh, she was giving it away, and there was some elected types there, public office holders, and I don't remember whether they were city, county, or state, but uh, she offered this woman in an elected position some naloxone rescue, an opioid overdose rescue kit. It was
Hmm.
whatever it was. A nice little packet. It had naloxone in it. It had some gloves and it had instructions, and that might have been it. But she offered it to this woman, and the woman's response, this elected official's response, was to say to a bereaved parent, she said, "No, thanks. I don't need it. I talk to my kids."
No,
Yeah.
and what's sad is, I was blessed to have Timothy for 23 years, going on 24. You know, some parents don't get that long with their kids.
Right.
I was blessed to have 20, almost 24 years. You know, so I I look at the positives and things. I, you know, it sucks. I'm not gonna lie. You know,
Right.
but there's people out there that their 10-year-old actually took a Tylenol and had everything has fentanyl in it now. You know,
Yeah.
and from what I heard, they can put them in vapes now.
Yeah. We've heard some reports about them being in vapes,
You
and
know,
there's some anecdotal stuff about it being in marijuana. And I say anecdotal because there's always people, there's always commenters who lose their mind if you imply that it might be in weed. There's always one commenter referred to these folks as the pothead army. And there's those who will leap to the defense of marijuana. There have been cases where fentanyl has been found in illicit marijuana, not anything from a dispensary in the states
that's
where it's legal, but in illicit,
right on the streets.
it's
Yeah.
been found. It hasn't been found in a way that demonstrates conclusively that it was deliberate. It's been found in ways that could have been simple cross contamination. That once a bag full of counterfeit pills made with fentanyl was empty, weed went in the bag next, and that it got contaminated that way. So that's the kind of and I have been frantically searching for evidence that confirms or dispels the idea that fentanyl in weed is a thing, and I'm not finding a whole lot either way.
I could see it can be. I mean,
Yeah.
you put a lot. You could, back in the day, they put coke with it. Why couldn't you bet the fentanyl powder with it?
Right. Right. And fentanyl is in it is in vapes. There's been confirmed cases of that. There has been some confirmed cases of it being in marijuana, but there's also a lot of cases out there where where the parent gets the toxicology report, and all that shows up in the toxicology report is marijuana and fentanyl. And from that, they conclude that, well, the fentanyl must have been in the marijuana. And that's not really proof. Just because it was in the toxicology report together doesn't mean it was consumed together. So, Danny, it'd be a good time to turn that light back on now, I think.
Okay, see what you got.
Sun's going down. There we are. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're getting dark. Okay, so let me catch up with some of the comments here. There's something about oh, I know I missed stuff. There is something about okay, there's Brad talking about the 5-year plan, and there's some puppy with Danny making noise I hear. Uh, I saw something about instruments, musical instruments,
I
that
played the bass drum.
bass drum.
I played the bass drum.
Wow. Well, there's a running joke about what do you call a guy who hangs out with a band for no apparent reason?
What are you
And
laughing at? I don't know.
we're talking about a band like a rock band and the punchline is you call him the bass player or you call him the drummer. And so a bass drum that just seems like a double whammy for an opportunity to give you a hard time.
Yeah,
It's just
I could take it.
yeah. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Brenda says, Sadie, I'm sorry, but you're probably correct. At least your mother would have had pharmaceutical fentanyl, which well, I feel like I missed something there. Sadie says, praise God, Danny, praise God. Probably from when you were talking about your church group experience. God shots are when our angels in heaven find a way to get a message to us still on earth. So God shots would be those little things that you talked about, like make my phone make a noise at 111.
And I always have him with me. I got his ashes in this little cross right here.
Uh huh.
So
Well, cool.
he goes with me everywhere.
Good job. And so let's see where we find hope and peace in God for sure, says Sadie. And she says, okay, guys, it was definitely good. Viola is here. Hello, Viola. Thanks for joining us again. Yep, you are helping people too, Danny. Believe that. And that's such a big deal. I think anytime anyone shares a story, people grow. And so you're helping people grow by sharing your story.
But you said earlier, one of the ladies said it earlier that she was an addict and she started watching the stories,
Mhm.
and then she's been clean for I can't remember what it was, 227 days or something like that.
That's close. 277, I think, was the number.
Yeah, okay. So when it's helping like that, that's what I hope.
Yeah, Danny's such a good guy, folks. So, Danny, do you get visits from Cardinals? Not the football
No.
team.
Oh, I would say I love the Cardinals. It's my favorite team. No, I don't. I don't know
Uh,
if are there Cardinals in Arizona? I mean, I guess so. We're the Cardinals. I don't usually see them that often, though. No.
no. Keisha says putting your pain to purpose is the best to educate and provide resources. Keisha is one of our storytellers from Florida, Pensacola, I'm pretty sure. And the way I keep it straight is by remembering the shooting location. In Pensacola, we shot in an actual production studio that was provided. And just like in Albuquerque, we used the county's production studio. It's cool. Hello, Deidre. Welcome. Brenda says naloxone is the real name. Narcan. Here we go. Narcan is the brand name. One of the many drugs containing naloxone. Uh, Brenda, I've made an issue out of that before. That there are tons of naloxone equivalents out there. There's even a Walgreens brand. There's a Walgreens generic kind of brand. Walgreens sells Narcan, and right beside Narcan is a box that has the same color scheme except it says Walgreens across the top, and it says naloxone on it, and it is Narcan is like $44 for a
I'd
box.
say it's about $50.
Yeah, and then the Walgreens version is 32 or $33. So substantially less. However, naloxone in some form, usually the brand name Narcan, is available for free all kinds of places out there. You just got to do a little bit of research. There's
Hmm.
there's online resources, and all of these things vary by city and vary by state. But at harm reduction centers are likely to be giving it away to anyone who asks for it. And awareness events, there's likely to be tables at awareness events that have some version of naloxone available for free. Even how about that? I got some right here, and I have 3 cases of this out in the garage that'll be going with me to Oklahoma City and Wichita, Kansas, and Denver, Colorado. And I'll probably come back with all of those gone, and someone somewhere on that trip will have given me more. That's typically how our stock gets replenished. Nobody, we don't have any kind of arrangement with Emergent or some other pharmaceutical company to provide us with naloxone. We get it, and we have a whole box of test strips as well.
And
We
I say
yeah.
I work at a pharmacy, and almost every opiate opiate that gets prescribed, they give a box of Narcan with it.
Wow. I feel like that kind of implies that it could be self-administered, and it really everybody says you can't. That by the time you figure out that you're looking at that you're facing an overdose, you're too
You're
you're too far gone to do it to go yourself.
I believe that. But at least if it's at the house and you have a spouse or a
For
loved one
sure.
there, at least there's there. And I get people going, "Why are they giving this to me? Are they saying I'm a drug addict?" No, that's not what they're saying at all.
Right.
They're just saying, "Hey, you might have forgot you take this pill and you took it again,"
Right.
or something like that. And so I've had a guy go, "I have 15 of these at home. What do I do with them?" I don't give them to the homeless.
Yeah. What a great thing to be doing.
Give them to the homeless. They're out there, getting high on these drugs all the time. If they have one and they have one of their friends, or they walk by somebody else and they have that, that's going to save a life.
Even if they're not getting high, they're around people that are.
Yeah,
Or they're around people that they don't know. So there's nothing but good in having it. And another big thing about administering naloxone on someone, if you're not sure if it's an overdose or not, just do it. Just up their nose.
it's
If it's not an opioid overdose,
not going to
nothing
harm them.
nothing will happen.
Like water going up their nose.
Yeah, that's it. There is no risk in giving it to someone who doesn't need it.
Exactly.
None. So let me catch up. Deidre, hello everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Deidre, hey girl, how you doing? Did I tell you I finally got to 9 months clean last Thursday? That's Brenda. Brenda's kicking ass. Uh,
That's awesome.
it feels so darn good, she says. Sadie says, shoot, he was so young. I love your mindset though, brother.
I've been clean May 31st, 20 years.
So
You
it's
know,
it's it's working out. So there is a lot of people in the group who are who are in recovery. I say a lot. I don't. There are a lot of people who participate in the group. A lot of people who really engage in the chat. are people that are in recovery, and so it is. I thought it would be extra cool for them to meet you in this kind of live environment because of that, because uh, they would gain something from spending time with you. I thought so. Brenda says, "I am so proud of you and happy for you too." That's in response to Sadie saying, "I must confess I missed the first 7 minutes because I lost track of time playing with my buttons." Her basset hound is called Buttons.
Oh, okay.
So but I wanted to let that to just I wanted to let
Uh,
it just sit there in suspense for a moment or two before I cleared it up with the bass playing with my
and you did,
buttons. What's that, like a metaphor? I don't know.
and you did let a suspense there for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the parents should be held responsible for infant and small children. You, you too. I don't know what that means, Deidre. Sadie says this makes me so sad. Deidre, I remember when you first started joining the chats. I feared everyone would hate me because I willingly took the drug and was that was killing our youth, and I was too wasted to figure it out. I'm losing. Where am I? There we go. And the Idlemore is back with us again. Thank you for coming, joining us again. Let's see. Brenda says, Deidre, you are one of the first who made me feel welcomed. And Nux, Carla, Brad, you guys are amazing. And Danny, these people, Brenda, I'm sorry, Deidre, Nux, Carla, and Brad are some of our usual suspects that are a part of this chat group environment very frequently. There's also one named V who is kind of missing in action lately. So hoping we hear from V sometime soon. Uh, I saw my phone light up over here. I think it means I got some sort of message. Oh my gosh, yes. All right, that'll just sit there. Cardinals are messengers from heaven, Jenny says. Okay. Is that because there's cardinals in the Catholic Church, right?
Yeah.
Is that it? I don't know. So my mind just went there. Yes, Jenny. Deidre says yes, Jenny. I agree. Sadie says, did Timothy overdose accidentally?
They're saying he did. Yes.
And
Well, and like I said, it was bad. It was so it was. And I don't know how they could tell. I don't know how they could tell that if it's something if it was bad, but
I
it was
get,
an accidental. It wasn't on purpose.
I guess from the toxicology report, they can have a sense of how much was in his system. Maybe that's what they meant.
But from what his friend said, is he didn't have that much.
Hmm.
You know,
Right.
he said he didn't have that much. So
All right. So I hope that
I never got the toxicology report because I knew what it was.
right, right.
You know, so I never never had. I've been doing autopsy, toxicology report because I knew it was fentanyl anyways. He was always open about him doing it.
Hmm.
He was always like, "Son, did you do something today?" Yes, Dad. He always was always honest with me. So we need to go get you some help. I know, Dad. Oh, you want to go tomorrow? Yeah. And then the next day came out, he had plans or he had something to do, you know.
Right.
But then, like I said, when he got arrested, and then he went to it before he was going to go into the prison system. He went to a facility and got help, and he was clean that I think it was just one last time before he went into prison for 5 years.
Right.
You know,
That had to been that has to be gigantically scary to be just just s- just being awake, knowing that this time tomorrow I'm going to be at the beginning of a 5 year prison term, or this time 2 days from now, or this time next week, or whatever. To have that looming over your head like a guillotine, just that had to have been really torturous, I would think.
well, I bet that's your freedom.
Right.
And to be honest with you, he wasn't the right kind of person to go there.
Yeah, I
I mean,
think mo-
who
I
is, but I'm saying who is, but he was too nice to be, what I mean.
too
So
nice of a guy.
yes, to worry about going there, and that's the one thing I meant about that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but you know, like I said, one time to do it,
Right.
and like I said in the video, I know he was doing it to mask and to all of his depression, all of his pain that he, thinks he had or thought. I don't. It was never in his head, so I can't
Yeah.
tell you that. But learning more and more about fentanyl, it turns your brain off
Mhm.
pretty much. It makes you do not think about nothing, not think about important stuff.
Yeah, and the addiction, it becomes the only thing that you think about. And to some degree it happens with any addictive substance. It doesn't really matter if it's fentanyl or alcohol or something else. There is this brutality that puts that one thing ahead of everything else. You know?
Like I said, I follow people that do, you know, fentanyl projects and stuff like that too. And
Mhm.
just seeing these people, just I'm like, man, I wish I could do something. I watched there's a guy on TikTok that um goes around and does GoFundMe's to help people get into a place, to get clean, stuff like that. They go by, hey, you want to get clean? I'll help you out. You just let me know when.
Yeah, I've seen some of those.
And
I've
I
seen some of
think
those.
that's awesome.
It is awesome. That
That's awesome.
that is a great. He would be a great guy to do a story with. A great guy to interview. I feel like it just seems like it would be a good story, and the kind of story that if we can let more people see it, maybe more people will start doing that kind of thing. I think that would be spectacular. Let's see what else we got. Jenny, wow, I saw a cardinal a few days ago on my fence. Okay. Sadie, yes, he had some clean time and was due to report to corrections the next morning. Uh, Glenn has shirts for. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Welcome, Italian Angel. Carla, are you going to
Say,
make it to Toby
say,
Keith's?
give me a drink.
And so,
Sorry, I'm gonna get a drink.
yeah, feel free. Yeah, I get. I've been doing that too, but
Ah,
yeah, yeah. Thanks for sharing, Danny. That was good.
my mouth was dry there.
I get you. Okay, Carla and Rain are going to be at the deal. Sadie, what are you saying? Wow, to? Don't let the old man in. Does Glenn have shirts for sale? It's like you guys are trying to queue up promotion of our store. Anyway, so we've been here 45 minutes. I feel like we tied up Danny's time enough here. Does anybody have any closing questions for Danny before we let him go back to being Danny in Phoenix? and I will stay here for a bit longer for you guys. We can talk about what's going on in Oklahoma City in in less than a week. Holy cow! So Jenny says good night. She's talking to you
Good night.
because she knows you. Brenda reminds everyone to smash the like button. So anyway, Danny, I really want to thank you for joining us and being a part of this. I feel like a lot of people really uh, benefit from benefited from hearing your perspectives in this kind of live environment where they can ask you questions. And Brenda has a question. Danny, what was your drug of choice? And she
Meth.
says, if you don't mind me asking, which,
I'm an honest person. Meth.
yeah, yeah, I think if you don't mind me asking, you know,
It was speed. It was meth.
if he does mind you asking, who cares? Do it anyway. Ask him anyway. Because everybody grows from that. Everybody
Yeah.
grows from what they learn. And so if it's a little bit awkward, I have learned. Now, I ask people questions a lot, and I have a lot of my filter has just gone. But it's a sweet spot to be. And I find that overall, people really appreciate being asked even the tough questions.
Oh yeah.
And so, yeah.
I'm honest with my own kids. Dad, have you done this? Yes, I have. Don't do it. You know, I could give experience.
Being open about it, I think is giant. It is so important. Every time someone shares a story, everybody grows. Brenda says thanks. If he minded it would take him a few days to reach me in Oklahoma and I could start running. Okay. Sadie is saying goodnight because it's 10:30 in New York. And she's sending lots of love and good
Thank
night.
you for watching.
Good night, Sadie. Thank you for being here. We'll be doing this again in probably not tomorrow, but the next day. Yeah, we try to release a story every 2 days. It varies a little bit. And starting next week, I'm going to be on the road for a couple of weeks. And while I'm on the road, holy cow, all bets are off. I still try to release one every other day, but it's not going to happen every other day. Sometimes there'll be 2 days in a row. Sometimes it might be 3 days with nothing or just some simple report from the road or something like that. But I will always stay in touch with you guys. But anyway, we're going to let Danny get out of here. I'm going to stay, but we're going to let Danny get back to being Danny in Phoenix.
Well, I appreciate you coming to Phoenix and doing this.
Well,
I
thank you.
appreciate that, letting us tell our story. You listening to our story. I mean, I know you've listened to thousands of stories. Lot. Okay, let's see a lot. So I'm not sure how many, but thank you.
Quite a
I
few.
mean,
I,
it means a lot.
I appreciate that very much, Danny. I feel very blessed to get to do this. I really do. I've met so many incredible people,
And
and
you're changing lives too.
I hope so.
I've already heard it. You're already changing lives,
We
and that's
yeah. Yeah.
so
All
you
right.
got.
So don't go get me crying again, Danny. Just but
So I appreciate you, Glenn. Thank you very much.
thank you. All right.
You guys have
Well,
a blessed
we
night.
will keep in touch with Danny, and hopefully somewhere down the road do a follow up. So
Of course.
we'll talk to you later, Danny, and I'm gonna stay right here. So here we are. It's just me now. Let me just offer a final goodbye to Danny before I close the chat here. I want to say what a great job he did being here, and how much I appreciate you being a part of it before I just hang up on you abruptly. So I wanted to tell you that. So I will be talking to you soon, and I'll keep you posted on how the story's doing on YouTube.
Thank you.
So we'll see you next time.
Have a blessed night.
All right. Okay, kids. So I'd swear that was a little bit of a weird color shift that just happened there. And maybe I'm just seeing a little extra bit of light on me from the frame. So here we are, folks. It's just you all and me now. And so I'll scoot over just a little bit. So, all right, folks. When we had Danny in the in in the chat, when we had Danny here, I felt like some things really got away from me. Viola sends a heart to Danny. Good job. Danny, I think, is probably still part of the chat. Hope so. Have a great night and love to all. Good night, Deidre. I guess you're wimping out on us too. That's all right. So I know there was all kinds of questions about Toby Keith, about the Toby Keith restaurant or whatever it's called, Toby Keith Bar and Grill or Toby Keith, whatever. But so, hey, Brad, knock, knock. Oh my gosh, I'm about out of water here. That's not good because I'm out of coffee too. You guys know about these mugs, okay? So, I feel like there was. So Brad, it looks like we'll be able to get the package here. So I told you that. So it looks like it's not going to be shipped to your address after all. But so I'm asking folks if there's something that I missed because I was talking primarily with Danny. Please post the question or comment again, and I'll do my best. I mean, thanks. If you minded, it would have taken a few. Okay, yeah, we did that. 10:30 here in New York. Good night. Good night, Sadie. Brad says, God bless all. Danny, thanks for helping to keep me clean. Good night and God bless. Viola says, you gotta, you gotta be open with your kids. I don't have a clean past and I share every dirty detail of it. And she says, Glenn, you really are changing lives. And I hope so. I, 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 I love doing this. I am very much living the dream, getting to do this thing that helps people. I get to meet all these wonderful storytellers and I get to see them share the story and feel better afterwards. And maybe the feeling better afterwards doesn't last very long, but I get to see it happen. And it's awesome. And I get to give them that role of lifesavers and the t-shirt and stuff. And I feel totally blessed to be doing this. Absolutely. Brad says knock knock, and I don't know what to do with that, or it could have just been him dozing off, or maybe knock knock is the sound that happens when he knocks over his walker, or something like that. I don't know. But so Deidre, good night and God bless. I am over tornado season already, Deidre. Oh man, I can only hope, Brenda. God bless each and every one of us here. Carla says, Dad, you and Brenda are still using the 5-year plan to help each other out. So cool that you're here, Carla. I am. Okay, is this the address, Toby Keith? I love this bar and grill. 310 Johnny Bench Drive, Oklahoma City. Is that the one in Bricktown? Because I have been telling people it's in Bricktown. Okay, cool. So that's where we will be. So while I have you guys here, I want to share something with you. Saturday, we shot a fentanyl poisoning story here in the uh, Texas Pictures World headquarters in the studio, just right here, right beside my desk, and it's just like a minute and a half, 2 minute long video clip. So I thought I would share it with you guys. Some of you who are part of this, um, some of you who are a part of the live event this afternoon might have already seen it, and if so, I'm very sorry, but we're gonna play it again. So, you guys just hang in. It's interesting because the storyteller, it's the victim's sister, and she tells this funny story about how they fought and this created. Anyway, I believe you'll be able to hear it just fine. So, uh, here we go. So okay, so that's when he was old enough to drive, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what about younger? Did y'all get along? Were y'all?
We would fight. I actually used to bite myself, and then I would tell my mom that he bit me. So I would get to bite him back, and it worked for like years until my mom saw me do it one day, like saw me bite myself. I got in a lot of trouble for that.
As you should. Holy cow! Wow, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
My sister's 5 years younger than me,
Mm-hmm.
and 5 years. Yeah. So she never thought of that. So as you got older, got into high school, and guys started coming around. That had to be pretty scary for the guys too.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
And do you play any instruments?
He played guitar and harmonica. He had this strap thing so he could play harmonica while he played the guitar. um, yeah.
Yeah, like Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
All right. So was that interesting or what? Did y'all could you hear the story? This the sister, she would bite herself and then tell her mom that her brother did it and get him in trouble. How ingenious, how brilliant is that? She'd bite herself, leave marks, and say the brother did it. While y'all were watching that, I did get more water. Oh yeah. All right. So questions about the Toby Keith thing. You know, what's going to happen at the Toby Keith thing is going to be very informal. There will be maybe a little surprise or two, but for the most part, it's just a casual gathering. Whoever wants to show up is welcome to show up. You can bring a guest. Texas Pictures will buy some appetizers and for whatever else, everybody, it's going to be a Dutch thing. And so Brenda was thinking more sadistic than genius. Both can be true. It can be sadistic and still genius. Uh, Jose. Hello, Jose. I feel like I've seen your name before. I mean, obviously, I've seen the name Jose before. I mean, it's in the national anthem, right? Jose, can you see? No, I'm sorry, I got confused. So I was anyway. So Brenda said I was thinking more sadistic than genius. It's a brother sister thing. There's there's 5 years difference between them. There was 5 years difference between. Well, there still is 5 years difference between me and my sister, and we got along good. We get along great now. But yeah, we had a period where we were. No, one in. Glenn with one in, because two ends is just ridiculous. Anyway, Viola says for some reason my phone has gotten really hot. I'm going to sign off and don't want to. Good night, guys, or maybe give it a few minutes to cool off and come back. We have been here a little over an hour and probably not going to go on much longer for tonight, but I sure appreciate everyone who's here. Anyway, so wow, the computer's getting pretty hot too. Now that I think about it, but it'll be fine. So, where were we? Uh, my sister, my sister loved me. She loves me. Uh, it's past Brad's bedtime. Well, I know it is, Brad. I know it's really part of the fun is pushing these late just to torment you. You didn't get a nap today? Viola, be careful. My husband exploded 2 weeks ago. The otter case was all that saved him from injury. Wow, that's scary. Hmm. So, Brad, if you are going to turn in, more power to you. Uh, I always really appreciate when you're here, and you too, Carla, for sure. Both of you guys. Yeah, cell phone batteries can be a scary thing. Hmm. So, Carla, you're gonna be there at the Toby Keith thing, right? Yeah, yeah, have to be. Indigo. Love everything you do, Glenn. It's monumental, even if it's all saving one life. Thank you. Thank you, Indigo. I love everything I do too. I do. It is there's a giant adventure to it all, but I love that I love that the things that I get to do involve meeting all of these great people and maybe helping them to feel a little bit better, maybe just for a little while, but feel a little bit better, maybe pull just a little bit of value out of their terrible loss, maybe I don't know. See, there goes Brenda again with that. If I'm being too nosy, just yeah, just ask. Jose, where are you from, Jose? If I'm being too nosy, bummer. I'm just being nosy. So where you at, Jose? Wow, that was a loud noise, wasn't it? Ding. Sorry. Wow, there's like that's like an awkward pause there. Everybody got quiet all at once. There's nobody. I mean, Brad probably just dozed off, but for the rest of you guys, you're still here, still paying attention, right? So everybody got quiet. Jose, where are you, Carla? You're drinking coffee pretty late. I drink coffee all. Gee, so, gosh, Carla, do you? I don't know that I've ever seen you drink coffee, and our paths have crossed a few times, and I don't, I don't, I drink coffee all day long, and I think Jose left us and Brad fell asleep, or he could be calling his plus one for Toby. Yeah, and we are a couple of days before Sunday. I'll make an announcement on our channel about the event at Toby Keith's. There's there's kind of let's see. I see Brad's back. There's a kind of a strategy with public events to announce them to people like you guys, like people that you really want to be there, and then as the date gets closer, you can make the invitation wider and wider without it getting out of hand. So probably Thursday or Friday, I'll make an announcement on the channel that people can join us. Brenda says, my parents drank coffee all day. When I tried it, my mouth was hot for hours, so I never tried it again. Well, I'm sorry about that, Brenda. It's coffee's awesome. This is an empty cup now, but it's clean. This is, or it was, an Americano. I have an espresso machine, and it's wonderful. And at dinner, I had espresso at the restaurant we were at, and that was wonderful too. So it'll be okay. But I could fall asleep right now. Also, so I don't know. I don't know if there's any sort of I rarely do I ever notice any kind of influence on me from caffeine. My husband drinks until 3 or 4 each day. Drinks coffee until 3 or 4 each day. I probably uh, so I do drink more decaf now. So there's that. That's something. That's drinking decaf is it's a move in the right direction. I still want to. I went 10 or 12 years ago. I went 6 or 8 months drinking only decaf. And then when I started drinking regular coffee again, I got that I got that caffeine high thing. I felt it. And it's the first time I could ever remember feeling it and thinking, "Oh yeah, it is pretty cool." I don't get it anymore. Anyway, so the event in Oklahoma City, and anyone's welcome. I've heard the most common expression for decaf coffee that I've heard is unleaded, and so I, I don't I don't feel the caffeine. It just doesn't work on me. So it doesn't really matter if it's got caffeine or not. But it seems like there's got to be some long term health benefit to avoiding or reducing your intake of caffeine. Carla, no, Sherry won't be in Oklahoma City. Sherry will be joining me in Denver. And when we're at the Toby Keith thing, she's going to be at a baby shower in Dallas, I believe. How many people am I expecting? I have no idea. I think probably. Well, I really I don't know. I don't. We're gonna announce it in the private Facebook group, and we'll do that probably tomorrow, and then we'll announce it on the channel Friday. But it'll be a very informal thing, and so just whoever shows up, I'll be there from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock or so, and people can kind of come and go as they want. Very informal, casual, that kind of thing. But I have no clue. I gave up caffeine for Lent one year. It wasn't too bad after the first 2 weeks. I made it the whole 40 days. And then thank God I'm not Catholic. Okay. Well, there you go. Do we need to dress up? Yes, Brad. You need to dress up. I don't think there's any reason anyone would ever need to dress up for any place that has Toby Keith's name in the name. Right? Doesn't that make sense? So I can tell you right now, I will be either wearing jeans or shorts and a Texas Pictures t-shirt. In fact, it'll be a Texas Pictures t-shirt you guys haven't seen yet. Brad, don't forget the heels and makeup. Yeah, Brad. Okay, you do the heels and makeup thing, and we will We'll put it on the channel. That's what we'll do. But holy cow. I think it'll be a great time, regardless of how many people show up. But how many people in the chat right now are going to be there? Brenda? Brad? Carla? So I think realistically, the group will be less than 10. But if it's more than 10, that's great. If it's only 4 people, that's great too. Yes, the cavalry couldn't keep me away. So there's 3. Brad, Carla, Brenda. And who else? And me. So there's 4. It's not every day you get to meet. It's not every day you get to meet people responsible for saving your life. Brenda, you saved your life. I love when you tell me that. But you saved your life. I think a couple of other people said they were coming too. Yes, yes, a couple of others did from the last chat. So I'm hoping it works out that way. And I can tell you, I am quite excited about the idea of seeing you guys, seeing actually me, Robin. Yes, Robin sounds like Yvette Humble. What is the event being discussed? Sorry, I'm late. Thank you for joining us, Yvette. We are having a get together. Where are you, Yvette? What state? I don't think that. Yeah, I think Robin was one. So, however many there is, Mansfield. Is this Yvette from the cruise? I'm just wondering. So, anyway, however many people are there, it'll be great. I am quite south of Fort Worth in the Metroplex. So, what's happening? Glenn, you have your option on you have your opinion on who saved me, and I have mine. So, we will have to agree to disagree. No, just new to y'all's show and love what y'all are doing. Thank you, Yvette. I appreciate that a lot. So what we've been talking about for whoever asked what I miss is in Oklahoma City, in Bricktown in Oklahoma City at Toby Keith's whatever it's called, Toby Keith's Bar and Grill, and what Brad, Mr. 5-year plan, what was the full name of Toby Keith's something in Bricktown. We have the address. we're having a get together at 2 o'clock on June 15th, which is this coming Sunday. And I'll be there from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, maybe later, but just a very informal, great opportunity to visit, to spend some time together, and that's it. We're not shooting interviews. We're not recording stories. We're just meeting whoever can make it. Meeting some old friends. Toby Keith's I Love This Bar and Grill, 310 Johnny Bench Drive, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 73104. So there we are. I don't know. I'm talking a little faster, aren't I? Maybe the caffeine does do something. I don't know. Some people say caffeine makes them high strung. I don't think it makes me high strung. I don't really feel like it has any effect on me at all. I mean, I drink coffee all day long, and it never seems to have any effect. I just stay at this even keel kind of thing all the time. So, Toby Keith's I Love This Bar and Grill, 310 Johnny Bench Drive, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 73104. That's going to be the place where we will be. And I hope to see you all there. So I showed you guys the little bit of behind the scenes, that behind the scenes video. Anybody have any questions about that? Any kind of anything you're curious about, or comments, or whatever? So Robin is not going to be able to be there. Okay, Robin. I would love for all of you to be there. I just I think it'd be great. I totally get if you can't make it, if you're not anywhere near Oklahoma City. Totally get that too. So, but I'm so grateful to all you folks. And I appreciate all you folks being a part of this group. Yvette Humble, how fun. Great idea. I can't make it, but I'll keep an eye out if y'all host anything in North Texas. And happy Father's Day. Well, thank you. Brenda has Toby Keith's phone number, 405-231-0254. But I don't think we even need to give him any kind of warning that we're coming, really. I don't think, because I don't think there's going to be very many questions we could answer that they might have. They're going to want to know, well, how many people should we expect? And I don't know. And you guys don't know. It's Father's Day. So, and here's a thought. Maybe on the trip back from Denver, which will be a week or a little over a week later, we could do it again, because I'm just like that for you guys. So we'll keep you folks posted on that. So I'm going to be Oklahoma City on the 15th, and then I'm going to Wichita, Kansas, and then Denver, Colorado, and then back to Houston. Not long after that, I'll be going to Portsmouth, Virginia, not long after that, I'll be going to Seattle, Washington, I believe, and then Pensacola, Florida. So those are the big things on the schedule for now. And so I think it's about time to wrap it up for tonight, folks. I'm very grateful for you all to be here, and I'm hoping to see as many of you as can make it. I'm hoping to see you at Toby Keith's on Sunday. So we're going to wrap it up for now, and I want to remind you guys, just like always, listen to Carla go. See, Carla, y'all work this out. That's awesome. I am up for stopping wherever, and I'm up for making my trip back, go through Oklahoma City. It seems likely that it would regardless. Robin is stuck. Yvette, I've got to run the kiddos down, but I caught some of Cash Patel on Joe Rogan podcast. Very eye-opening. What I miss? What do you talk about? You talk about fentanyl? Remember, the things you take for granted, someone else is praying for. Good night and God bless. Good night, Brenda. And for the rest of you guys, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. And I want to remind you all, just like always, when I find our closing credit thing here, I want to remind you all, you are welcome to reach out to me anytime. That we're always happy to talk with you. And there are tons of ways to get in touch with me. On our channel is ways to contact me by commenting on any of the stories or any of the social posts, they call them community posts. On our channel, you can reply to any of them to reach me. And you can also find our email is listed in the about section about on our channel here. And there is also all of this. So the email address is info@texas-pictures.com. Thank you, Yvette. Thank you. So email info@texas-pictures.com. You can also find us on Facebook. You can search for me by my name, Glenn Muse, with one N, like a normal person. You can find me on Facebook, friend me there, message me there, whatever. We're easy. There's also a Texas Pictures Facebook page. And you can visit our website at texas-pictures.com. And on our website is our mailing address and a phone number to call us if you'd like. So thank you all very much for being here with us again. And we will talk to you soon. Good night, everybody.